Welcome to Kiva Sports Center, located in Middleton, Wisconsin. You are looking out upon Michael J. Stott's Field, where the players play. Today we have blue versus red, the 12th game of the season and potentially the final game of this 2018 year. Standings are currently blue at 4-1, red is 3-2, gray 3-3, green 1-5. The only two teams that have any chance of continuing their season are blue and red, and they play today to see if there will be more hurling next week. The rosters for today are, for red, Paul Anderson, Ben Bars, Joel Bodilly, Matt Daly, Derek Hayes, Connor Jones is out with a knee injury, John Kenny, Jake Martell, Mike Naprala, and Mike Stapleton. I'll hand it over to my partner Heath Moore to fill you in on who's playing for blue.
Good morning, world. Heath Moore here, doing color commentary. Got about a 2-minute warning here, so I better go quick. For blue, Stephen, Dr. Cobb, David Dodge, Pete, Muscleman Drury, Ross, Dunny Dunford, Max, the Jackal, Gareth, I just got back from Iceland, Kaltenbergson, Paul Kelly, otherwise known as Dairy Master. In for Colin O'Reilly is Marcus. My name is Marcus Kennedy, Logan Spillner, and Brady Terry.
Well done there, partner. So we've got the matchup of matchups here, the 12th installment of our league. Red trying to hang on with 3-2, a record of 3-2. If they can somehow find a way to beat the team that beat them earlier in the season, they will force a playoff. What are your thoughts on what's coming up this game?
Other than winning is better than losing every single time. I keep saying it. The key here, as it always is to account for those Irish players, the Ross Dunfords, the Derek Hazeses. Just dealing with those players is really going to open up the competition, and it's anyone's game at that stage.
And again, if you score more points than your opponent, that's probably your biggest goal.
I'm sure that there's probably an exception to that, but I can't think of one at the moment.
All right. Well, we've got 50 minutes to come up with some other alternate strategy, but that always seems to be the one that wins the day. By the way, we've got Alan Morris refereeing this game, and Connor Jones is working the scoreboard. Looks like the players are shaking hands, and probably for the last time today, and getting ready for the throw-in. Alan Morris always running a tight ship, starting the game right on time here. Saturday morning, April 14th, 7 a.m. Here's the throw-in ball. It's fought for by Kennedy and Daly. It's scooped up by Dodge. He cuts at the 13-meter line and looks to score a point, and does. He puts it right over the bar. First blood drawn by blue.
Quick puck out there, was knocked down by, looked like Ben Bears.
Looks like a shot as he falls to the ground. Dave Dodge, but it goes harmlessly off to the side. Ricochets over to the boards. Ross Dunford covered by Daly. Dunford puts it down on the ground and flicked over to John Kenny, who tries to Johnny pass up to Paul Anderson, but instead it's knocked down by Dunford. The ball's kicked down the sideline. Here's Paul Anderson scooping one-handed, trying to get it, but he's just advancing it on the ground. The ball is hit over to Kennedy. Kennedy grabs and looks for some kind of opening, but they are pushing him all the way back to his back line. He is able to clear it up to Dunford, who gets it on one bounce. He hits it, but he's off balance and into the net.
You know, if Dunford had a proper sized field, that would have been a nice strike.
That's odd. Dunford took the sideline. It must have gone off Kenny. Kenny, that's Dodge trying to run through Derek Hayes, who says no way. He pushes him back. There is a call. It looks like the use of his arms to push him back is considered illegal, and there'll be a free at the 13-meter.
Yeah. During the passage of play, usually a lot of people want to push over David Dodge, but you know that's against the rules, and
sure.
There's a free in for that.
All right, here's Dunford. He's the highest scorer in the league by far. He's going to take his free. He's going to go low. It's right into the gut of Ben Bars, and he's able to stop it. That had to hurt. It's a great save. The ball trickles over to Matt Daly, who does a weak side shot all the way down into the goal mouth. That's Cobb, who's able to send it out, and that's Brady Terry, who's going to use his feet to get the ball up the field to Dunford, but it's collected by Kenny. He tries to grab it to his hand, and does he? Johnny passes it over to Daly. That's a flick over to Naprella, who's tightly covered by Brady Terry. He's not going to give an inch, or is he? Looks like Nappy makes his move. He's headed towards the center of the field. Hand passes over to Anderson. Anderson with the wide.
Oh, that was a nice save there.
The shot, Cobb knocks it down. That's Brady Terry, sends it over up into the boards. We hear guys clattering around over there. The ball is still rolling around. That's Dunford, who finally collects it. Hand pass to a streaking Kennedy. Kennedy hands it to himself and then is able to put it over the bar for another point.
It was quite an interesting passage of play there. Great save by Ben Bears, coupled by a great foot save by Dr. Stephen Cobb.
Now we've got Paul Anderson down in the corner, scoops it up and heads towards the corner. He's making 2 moves now. He's still stuck in the same spot, though. Hand passes is misguided, and Dunford's able to come up with it. Then he hand passes over to Marcus, who again is streaking over the line. That's a hard shoulder that stops Derek Hayes. It's Dunford who was able to do that. It's ground rolled back to Ben Bars, who's got to quickly get rid of it and sends it over to Daly, but instead it scoots away, and that's Marcus who's trying to collect it. A great hand pass over to Dunford, who's going to lay into it, but another nice save by Ben Bars, who's able to collect it, and then he accidentally scores on himself.
Made a great save there, Ben. Just trying to collect the ball. He was starting to be under a bit of pressure there. Just kind of lost the plot there for a second, and it winds up being a major score. It's unfortunate.
Ball flicked over to the corner now. It's 5-0. That's Daly, I'm sorry, that was Terry who tried to grab it. Instead, it's knocked over to Cobb, and Cobb sends it up to a wide open Dave Dodge, who takes his point, and Blue is really starting to pull away.
Yeah, David Dodge doing the smart thing there. He had some space. Why not get one score and not try to push it against an immovable rock? Derek Hayes.
Paul Kelly, the Dairy Master, climbs the ladder. He's not able to send it back into play, though. Instead, it's ricocheted off into the net, and we've got a sideline cut. Here comes Matt Daly. Looks like Allen wants it a little 13 meters because, he's counting off 13 meters. Kennedy is not listening to
Man in black walking the line there.
All right. He's not advancing it, but he is showing exactly how far the players have to be away on that sideline cut. Looks like it's collected by Cobb. Cobb with a flick over to Dunford, and John Kenny not giving an inch. And there's a call. It's a good call, I'd say. A little push in the back.
Yeah, Kenny just trying to protect his own space, just forgetting you got to be within at least some proximity to the ball when you do that.
Here we got Ross Dunford out with the free. He lifts, and it's knocked down by Hayes. Hayes sends it into the corner. He chases his own rebound. He gets the ball. Looks like he's going to hand pass dangerously into the goal mouth. That could hurt you, but instead Ben uses his legs to get it out of the danger zone. Hits it into the center of the field. It's collected by Dunford, who's looking for it, but it heads right up into the rafters.
Into the rafters there. It's something that catches the best of players. And in this case, Dunford would have been a great score from an outside, but inside the roof is the equalizer.
With 5 minutes gone, 20 minutes left in the half. The score is 6-0, Blue leading. That ball is hit over to Paul Anderson, who flicks it up to the field. That's Nappy, who's looking to score, but he's held up tripped up by Dairy Master.
Yeah, unlucky there. Dairy Master just applying some pressure. He just got tangled up in the offensive player there, Naparella. Unintentional foul there, but a foul nonetheless. Free in.
Long-time free taker, Naparella. I would estimate the second highest scorer in Hailstone history is going to take this one. He knows what to do. He wants the goal, and he will get that goal. So that's 3 points on a free for Naparella.
Quick puck out by Dr. Cobb, bounces off the hand of Derek Hayes. Derek Hayes trying to control it, get it out of there.
Boy, we got Johnny genuflect for a minute. He's back to it, but he's pushed back out of the way. Look at this. Alan Morris sees no foul there, and I'd agree with him on that. Looks like Marcus gets some space, and this is Dave Dodge trying to stand up Ben. This is a physical Blue team, I tell you, and they are not giving an inch. Hand pass across the goal mouth over to a wide open Derek Hayes. He sends it up to Naprala. Naprala has Anderson he could pass to, but instead it's blocked down by Kelly. Here comes Dunford. He's held up by Nappy, and this will be another free. Boy, these are really costly fouls. Here comes Ross Dunford, takes the free again low, but this time off the boards. I guess it wasn't so costly. Johnny Kenny collects it, flicks it across, and a hook on a ground hurl. You don't see that too often, but it was a great hook by Daly to stop that attempt. The ball is now kicked around right in front of us. Front seat ticket here, partner.
Always good to get a front seat ticket to any sporting event. The boys are fighting for it. No one has control otherwise. But Blue is driving the ball forward until
Johnny Kenny headed to midfield. He likes that Johnny pass, and it's a 50-50. A trip. Daly flies into the board. Hand pass over to Marcus Kenny. Kennedy over to Ross Dunford. That's who wants the hot potato. Instead, it's flicked over to Ben Bars, who clears it but does not get it to his hand, and Dave Dodge is not giving up down there. There's 3 red and 1 blue, and blue is starting to win this fight, actually. Dave Dodge not giving it. Oh, that could be a
Great
foul.
pressure.
No
Great
foul.
pressure.
All right, a hand pass from the ground. That's over to Ben. Ben sends it down the middle to Daly. Daly flicks a nice pass over to Naprala. He knows what to do with it for his second goal of the game.
Outstanding pass and some vision by Anderson there to find Naprala running free. Yeah, great. This is great display of hurling here this morning.
We got 6-6 with about 8 minutes gone in the first half. Red, that's Matt Daly, collects it. He loves that left corner. Instead, he heads back to the middle of the field, sends it in, hoping for a rebound maybe. But that ball is cleared by Cobb, and that's Paul Anderson looking to get it. Now it's 2 blues, 1 red, and blue comes out with it. That's Paul Kelly, who's running towards the center of the field. He's got it, and he makes a nice strong side hit to make a point.
Yeah, great effort there by Derry Master. Ran through 2 players, had to shrug off two defenders trying to dispossess him. Still gets 1 score out of it.
Boy, I tell you, it's a game of goals, but I think this one, the team that has the most point may actually... Oh, wow, what a shot by Ross Dunford.
Great score by Ross there. Had plenty of space. Got the hand pass from Derry Master. A little bit of space is all that Dunford needs.
Yeah, Ross the boss with his first goal of the game, actually. He's relying on his teammates to elevate as well, which is nice to see. That's Naprala hand pass to a streaking Paul Anderson. He gets it to his hand, but it's blocked by, looked like either Cobb or Terry there. But Paul is still on it. He still has an opportunity. The ball's in the danger zone for blue. A little push on Naprala. He goes to the ground, but comes back up with it. Hand, Logan not moving an inch. That's Brady Terry. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Ross Dunford who steals it, sends it up to a Dodge. And that's Jake Martell. He's got, he forces the bad shot, and that's Johnny Kenny who gets back just in time to help out. Now it's 2 blue, 1 red on this one. Johnny goes to the ground. There's no call. Instead, the ball is fought for and won by Dave Dodge. He looks to back pass to Kennedy. Kennedy tries to Johnny pass over to Ross Dunford. Now it's back to Kennedy, who's got his shot, and he puts it in for a point.
Score there. I'm telling you, David Dodge, desperate effort there up front. Blocked down.
Kennedy in a muffled puck out results in a blue goal by Dave Dodge.
Uncharacteristic error there from Ben Bears, but we reset.
Another error puts it into the net. Ben Barrs, man of the match last week. Maybe getting rid of some butterflies here. I'm sure he'll settle that down. Scores 14-6 with 10 minutes gone in the first half. That's Cobb who sends it into
another block down.
It's blocked down, and this is a dangerous situation for the goalie if he can get rid of it, and he does. He looks for Dodge, who's one-on-one with Jake. Jake is standing him up, doing very well to hold him up, and he actually comes away with it. That's Matt Daly who comes back to get it. Jake stepping out of the way. Oh! Charge into the boards. Should be a yellow. That should be a yellow. Nope, no yellow. Just a free in.
No malice in that. Just a little aggressive play there. Just happened to be next to a immovable object on the boards.
Yeah, I'd say everyone's in charge of keeping control of their own body, though. And if you can't around the boards, you should get a yellow. But never happened this season. I don't think it will in this final game. You'd also hate to see anybody in danger of getting kicked out, especially with the skill set of Ross. But that's his job to stay out. Okay,
great defensive flick there. Jake wasn't too happy with himself, but actually did a great job to slow down the attack.
Exactly. One-handed flick. If he could have kept it up against the board, he would have been happier. But that was a great job. This Dodge rushing in. Not much Red can do, and Dodge drops it into the back of the net.
Yeah, Dodge is using the speed there to get past Jake after a couple of great efforts from the defenseman.
It looks like this is Mike Naprala who scoops it up, and a fadeaway shot picks up a point, and much needed one by Red. They're falling behind. It's now 17-7 with a little over under 14 minutes to go. That's Ben Barrs who takes a couple of steps there, sends it over to Jake. Jake knocked down by Kennedy. Kenny is covering Ross, but not tight enough. Ross looks to get by. He cannot.
Gotta be. That's a foul every time.
Yep.
John Kenny no other way to say, he just had a hold of him.
That's
just holding him back. Probably a professional foul there, because had Dunford gotten through, that could have been easily a major score.
Alan Morris making sure the free is taken at the correct distance. Here comes Ross Dunford. He's going to go low, and it's stopped by John Kenny. A one-handed save. The ball is flicked back up against the boards. Now it's from play. John Kenny jumps in front of it, and the ball goes over the bar for a point.
Kenny jumping in there could have taken one right in the Dutch crackers, and that would have been painful, but went over for me for a minor score.
That man is fearless to be covering Ross Dunford in that fashion. The ball is sent off the boards, but it's collected by Dodge, who hits straight back in for a goal, and he gets it. He puts it into the back of the net.
Great effort there. Just a bit of space is all David Dodge needs.
All right, ball hit over to Mike Naprala, who flicks it over to the corner. That's Logan Spillner who collects it. He drops it, but is able to get it back to his hand. The ball trickles away. No one sees it. Now Paul Kelly runs back to grab it.
No,
I'm sorry, that's Jackal.
That's the Jackal, Max Jackal.
Look out. The moon is full and the Jackal is out. It's a scrum up against the boards. There's 4 guys. Another front row seat here, partner. This is quite a game.
That's got to be a foul there, right there. Holding him against no whistle at all.
Instead, the ball comes out, and John Kenny wants a point, but it goes straight up into the rafters.
Yeah, I think Jake there in a bit of desperation here, right in front of your correspondent here, just holding him up too much. No whistle at all. I think it's because the slitter had gotten out of that area, and the ref probably wasn't looking in that direction. Easy mistake to make on the ref. We'll give him a break this time.
Will Ross Dunford look for a coast-to-coast score? He does look for it, but the call is it hit the rafters again. So here we have a free for Red now. Mike Naprala taking the freeze, it looks like, for the red team. That opens it up for Daly, who likes to park himself in front of the goal, perhaps grab it out of the air or get a rebound. Nappy will probably look for a point in this range. He does look for a point and gets it right down the belt line.
Wisely looks for a point, although it looks like Red need a bunch of them here to get back in the match.
Yeah, that's probably not your goal-scoring opportunity, so you may as well take what you can get. The ball sent over to Ross. Ross, first shot blocked, second shot wide. That's Jake playing, again, tight defense up against that board so far. It looks to me like Daly has got it, but it's blocked down and tried to collect. It was Max Jackal. It's heads over to Ross Dunford, who hits it wide and off the boards, but Dodge knows those angles. He swings and misses, then hits it off the ground. It's Jackal who flicks it in. Max Jackal with a goal for Blue.
Max Jackal there with just holding his space there when the ball squirted out, was able to flick it in there. Ben doing a great job of making Red work for it. Making Blue work for it.
That's all right. The colors can get a little confusing for my partner over here. It's understandable. Ben did have a couple saves there. You can't save every one of them, and at some point somebody's got to get that thing out of it. Well, it looks like every single player on the field decided to meet down in the north corner here of the field. Another charge into the fucking boards.
No, I think the 2 players just got tangled in there.
All right, Logan could not get it. Instead, it was sent down the field by Red, and it's Logan now back on the board. That's Naprella making some space. Boy, things are getting physical here as both teams want it. It's a tough angle, and it's saved by Cobb, but up into the net, and we'll get a 65.
Yeah. You can feel the intensity rising here, despite the score differential there.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams fighting really, really, really hard.
A lot on the line here. Red doesn't want to have to play another game. They'd like to sew it up right here, but Blue doesn't want to finish. That's Ross Dunford, a save by Ben Bars. No, not a save. It must have gone up into the corner of the goal.
Initial save by Ben Bars actually hit the corner of the post and then ricocheted back in. So unlucky. Great effort by Ben, as always.
Then a poor puck out ends right into the hands of Dunford, who hand passes to Max, who puts it back to him. And then Ben Bars down low, saves it off the ground, and hand pass over to Daly, the sure-handed Matt Daly. Sends it over tries to get it to Jobo, but it's knocked down by Pete Drury. Drury's up against the boards. Looked like Jobo and Pete Drury want it. Pete comes away with it. A nice little ground hurl to a wide open Dunford, who strikes it and is given a point.
Puck out coming for Red.
Well, I should correct myself. Blue does not want to play next week. They would like to win this and just seal everything up and get on to their early bird special. But Red wants to win and somehow keep a chance of getting the Moose Cup by winning next week. It's a hand pass over to Daly, who drops into the back of the net. A beautiful show of teamwork by Naprala and Daly there.
Yeah, a rare hand pass from Naprala, but it was to the right person. And Matt Daly getting the hook in there.
Oh, a great block down by Derek Hayes, who is able to avoid a shot on goal, but the ball does go wide. And in the corners, Jackal wants another goal, but that's the goalie, Ben Bars. He's out. He knocks it down. He's still out. Now he's drifting in well past the 13. Oh, another block down by Ben Bars. He's saving all over the field.
He's everywhere.
He gives up on it, though, and allows Dunford to come get it unchallenged, and the ball's wide. All right, this is live. Dodgy puts a strong shot in on Ben. He's got another save. This ball is collected by Johnny Kenny, who grabs and sends it over to a wide open Ross Dunford. Dunford's another save. And now he's limping. That was off the flesh. That's Ben Bars, who's collected it to his hands, sends it, just wants a break for a second, and is able to get it. Johnny Kenny, boy, what a show of shot blocking ability by Ben Bars. The ball is sent over the head of Naprella. That's Drury. He's trying to get it to his hand, and he's able to at least knock it around, but Paul Anderson comes by to pick up the garbage. He sends it over to Daly, but instead he gets his own rebound. This is Paul Anderson looking twice to the hand now. He's ready to get rid of it. Goes to Kenny. Kenny steps back and then forward. He's got a wide open opportunity here. It goes up over the bar for a point.
Yeah, Kenny going through two players, weaving, ducking, moving fast. Able to get a minor score. Need a bunch of those to catch up, but that's one is good enough.
Stephen Cobb back into play. That's ricocheted, but then Ross Dunford rushes back to get it on his side of the field. Looks for Dodgy in the corner, but Dodgy misses the telegram. Instead, that's Derek Hayes who sees it, grabs it, hand passes wide open. Johnny Kenny, it looks like he just wants to take a point, and he gets it.
It's a smart play there. He had plenty of space. He had plenty of time. Why not get a point if you can get it? Although they could use a major score at this stage.
It is still early. With 6.5 minutes to go, Blue is comfortably ahead 28-13. Dave Dodge grabs it and now makes it 29-13.
That was an amazing catch by Dodge, though. Used the board to launch himself into the air.
Kirby Puckett style for those of you children of the 70s who watched baseball in the 80s. This is
that was back in the era of glam rock.
Oh yeah,
T-Rex years. Yeah.
Oh right. You saw that Easter egg I put on one of the broadcasts. Bang a gong, get it on. All right, ball comes up to Dave Dodge, who collects the one bounce. Boy, he's scooping up points like, I don't know, handfuls of M&Ms. I can't think of a good analogy.
Whatever analogy is appropriate there.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is the defenseman have got to be a bit tighter on Dodge because he doesn't need a lot of space to get possession of the ball.
Ball sent into the corner here. Stephen Cobb tries to get away. A lot of steps. Instead, he drops his hurl, another foul instead, and kicks the ball. Here comes Ross Dunford. I'm sorry, this is Dave Dodge. Derek Hayes, with a stop. It looked like Ben used the old ankle to block that one. He's using everything. Derek Hayes directing traffic. He wants an open man. Instead, he sends it over to Naprella, who's going to be covered by Brady Terry. But Nappy's not going to let him go too easily. This is Brady who finds a wide open Russ Dunford and makes his run. Runs right by Johnny, but Johnny's looking for a hook of some kind. Instead, Dunford off the ground into the back of the net.
Yeah, Dunford showing some skills there. Derek showing a bit of frustration with his forwards who weren't moving in that particular stage of play right beforehand.
Beautiful puck out, goes one bounce right into Paul Anderson, and you know exactly what happens there. You get a goal if you get a nice attack. It starts in the back. Paul Anderson with the goal.
Puck out, Blue.
Cobb throws some instructions out before sending his puck out in. It goes into the corner. Dave Dodge, Jake is really doing a good job of staying on him, but Dodgy is finding open crevices to take shots from.
He loves the crevices, David Dodge.
He'll look everywhere for that point or goal. It looks like Dunford's the goal man and Dodge is the point man because Dunford picks up another goal.
Oh, that shot from Dunford might have been deflected, putting Ben Bears off just a touch.
Boy, this game is streaking by here with 4 minutes to go in the first half. 36-26, Blue is winning. And Red getting a little bit of a taste of what other people have been experiencing this season, Green and Gray specifically. Just a machine that's the Blue team pulling away without much answer.
Yeah. Free in for Blue there. Jake just threw the body in after Slitter had left the area.
Ross Dunford, as usual, will take a low shot. There's nothing you can do with that with three guys on the back line. Another goal, this time from free. Puck out over to Paul Anderson, who kind of tops the ball, but Naprella runs under it. It's ball over to Cobb. Cobb roll this, but he's in a bit of congestion as Paul Anderson sends it back into the danger zone, but then Drury sends it back out. It's Ross Dunford. Nothing you can do about that line drive point.
Yeah, Dunford with a nice pickup there. Had plenty of space. That's all he needs. I keep saying it over and over again. A little bit of space is all he needs to make something of it.
Here goes Ben Bars over to Kennedy, who knocks it down. Kennedy looks for Dave Dodge. It looks like just a one-on-one on this end of the field. Martell and Dodge, and I'd say Dodge is getting the best of Martell despite his best efforts. But it could be a lot worse if Jake was off his game. That ball goes wide, off the boards, and a nice no-look pass from Nappy over to Daly, who streaks past 3 blue defenders and puts it into the back of the net.
Great no-look hand pass from Naparella, just into space, just all into space, and Daly knew to run onto it.
Here comes Dodge climbing the ladder to grab it out of the and just those response, turnaround, counterattack goals just kill a team when they work so hard to get theirs. And then
Jake was in the right position there, but really should have tried to block down the slitters that came in and just didn't get the stick in.
That's Naparella is knocked down. That's Cobb who sends it over to Johnny Kenny, who takes his 4 steps, and then weak side, a point is awarded on that shot just inside the bar. By my last count, Mike Naparella has 2 assists by hand pass. What's going on this morning? That's amazing.
He must. It's coaching. It's coaching.
He's coachable.
Got to be coaching.
He's very coachable.
He's got the desire. You can't coach that.
Yep. He's not Harry here, Harry there. He's coachable. He'll listen, and someone must have said, "Hey, how about I streak by and you hand pass it to me?" Ball hit out of the air by Kenny, who then it's collected by Daly, who's not looking to give up at all. He's got his favorite corner there, but it's blocked down by Kennedy. Naparella grabs the ball, but runs to a corner. He's trapped pretty tightly, and Brady Terry comes out of it. Nice weak side shot to Gareth. That's Jake Martell, who's had a heck of a game back there in the back line. He's not giving up on it. He's striking, swinging, hitting, everything he can do. But Jake Martell takes issue with that call. But I guess he was standing up Ross without.
Yeah, Jake just trying to insert himself and just tangle himself up purposefully in his opposite number, and it's not necessarily legal.
Ross Dunford takes his point and pulls the captain pulls his team even further away, 44-20 with just a minute left in the first half. This is a blowout. In fact, if in the second half Red were to just score the same number of points in the first half, Blue would not have to score again. They'd still win. They have doubled them up the first half, but they're not going to give up. John Kenny turns, weak side, back of the net. Now they're back on track.
Handful of those, and they're back in it.
Yep,
Red.
It is the Club Tavern League Indoor League, meaning anyone can come from behind, but it would be epic. Oh, picks his pocket. That'd be Ross Dunford with the captain with the C on his shirt, running by, weak side, top shelf, goal.
Dunford just took control of that situation. There's no other way to say it.
Oh, Daly he obviously was looking goal, but he will be awarded just 1 point.
Just about 4 seconds here. I don't know if we're going to get a puck out or not.
I doubt it.
We will, but it won't matter.
It will not matter. Ooh, that was dangerous of Ben. He could have actually spilled that into the goal. He should have just left it. But anyway, so let's take a look at the score right now. It is 47-24 at halftime. We have the top scorer right now, Ross Dunford, who scored 6-4, but right behind him, Dave Dodge, 4-4. The most interesting indicator on the score sheet really is Red's got an own goal. Ben Bars trying to collect. Not sure if he swung his hurl forward instead of back or back instead of forward, but it did end up in the net.
Yeah, I'd be lying as a goalie, and you'd be lying as well if that has never happened in your career. It does happen from time to time. It seems like, how the heck could you let that happen?
Yep.
But it does.
First thing you do is you look at your hurl. Like, there must be something wrong with the hurl, and then you kind of look around at the ground. Oh, there's something wrong with the ground.
Something wrong with the grass.
Not me.
It hit a tough to grass.
It's not me.
No, it's artificial turf. Yeah. So you start ruling out the possibilities, which leaves the only one is, I just knocked it in the goal.
So Heath, I've got your Pabst Blue Ribbon trivia question.
Oh, sweet. Hang on.
Have you had your coffee?
I have had my coffee, and I've also got my Pabst Blue Ribbon hat.
All right, looking good. That is a classic.
It
you
is.
Are definitely a child of the 70s.
It's a gift from the wife.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's been doing crochet lately. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
A hat wildly popular from our youth. You just don't see kids wearing it these days.
You don't. And again, it all centers around T-Rex. It's all
exactly,
the 70s,
exactly.
mid to late 70s.
You just watch that and you go, sure. I see where it came from.
When the oil crisis ended, no one cared anymore.
It was a free for all.
It was.
Yeah, it was. People were making hats out of beer cans and nobody cared. Nobody
cared.
It was.
That's how desperate people were.
That's how great life was in the 70s. All right. Your past blue ribbon trivia question is truly trivia here.
All right.
This year, we created an intro video clip that is played before each game. This is our 12th recorded match. What are the first 4 words displayed in the intro video clip before each game?
First 4 words.
Yep. Everyone's who's religiously watched it may have been paying attention to that intro. It starts off with bum 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 bum.
4 words. Heath Moore is great.
No,
okay.
no.
Then I'm out of ideas.
This is those people who have scanned back to the beginning of this video and now looked at it. Those 4 words are hailstones, hurling, starts, now. All right, so that was truly trivia. That was our new addition this year, putting a video intro going. I think we're going to try and do a halftime show. Why don't you give a breakdown, Heath, and I'm going to talk to our sideline reporters, see if we can't do some interviews.
Yeah, great. So with a roughly 20-point differential between the 2 teams on paper, you would think that this was pretty much a blowout, but the scoreline doesn't really show the effort between both teams, and fighting for the Slitter very, very, very hard. Some of the weak points there. Red has got to account for David Dodge. He seems to be able to collect the Slitter whenever he wants. And same thing with Ross Dunford. Have to account for him. He's really doing a lot of damage sending the ball up forward. So if Red can do that and get a basket of major scores there, they've got a shot. Slitter, yep. Slitter was thrown in by the man in black, collected easily by Russ Dunford, who makes a minor score out of it as easy as you like. Puck out Red.
Who put that point in?
Did not.
Who put that point? Did someone score a point? Ross with a point on the second half. All right.
Puck out, contested up against the wall. It looked like Dairymaster, Mr. Anderson, Naparella, and Brady. But Dairymaster comes out of the backs. Quick hand pass to Marcus Kennedy. Pucks
actually,
it
if you guys want to
space,
do it,
cut off by Kennedy, but collected by Dairymaster.
Dairymaster
with the hand pass out the back to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford with the hand pass over the top to David Dodge. No look hand pass back to Ross Dunford. Dunford with a shot from the corner
right into
the corner.
Right.
Very nice score, very nice passage of play. Puck out Red.
Boy, Red. Might be time to use that timeout. 45 seconds into the second half.
Puck out goes out.
Yep.
Sideline cut blue.
This ball out to Brady Terry. Terry hits over to Kelly. Kelly looks and doesn't do anything but tries to hand pass across the goal. And Daly comes by. Beautiful steal. Puts it in the back of the net. That's Hurling on display.
Yeah, a lackadaisical hand pass there. Just hung in the air too long. Gave the offending player time to get there, cut it off, and make something out of it.
It looks like they've moved Ross a little farther up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, farther up there. But John Kenny steals it away. And beautiful shot there. Now 2 quick scores makes people thinking there may be hope for Red.
2 more, and they could be back in it.
Yep, we got Marcus, our general manager, who's playing in a substitute position for Colin O'Reilly, who couldn't be here today. That's knocked down by Ben Bars. He turns. He has plenty of time, and it's a great puck out over to Naprella. This should be a scoring opportunity. And Naprella instead runs out to the 13-meter line and just wants to take his point, and it drops it into the corner. That's a beautiful shot by Naprella.
Wrong way. Shot over his shoulder into the top corner there. I don't even think Steve Cobb thought there would be a shot on.
Exactly. Make no mistake about it. He was looking to drop that in. Beautiful finesse as he drops it into that corner. He was thinking goal, but with finesse instead of strength. Dave Dodge steps over a fallen Derek Hayes and drops it into the back of the net.
Yeah, just turned Derek inside out just a little bit, just enough to give him some space.
So here's Mike Naprella, who kicks the ball up against the boards. He is pinned and is looking for a strike. He strikes it into Ben Bars, who collects it. He hits it over to the streaking Paul Anderson, and Paul tries to collect. He is able to, and Matt Daly in the back of the net, another goal.
Marcus Kennedy said it all right there. There's words I can't repeat here for the kids, but yeah, just able to get a score there, pretty much creating something out of nothing. Marcus Kennedy now got the shot blocked down, nice save. Ben Bears following up with another save, collects the ball out of the corner. Boys run themselves into the wall. Dunford's shot is blocked down, collected by Marcus Kenny. Marcus with a sort of off-speed shot, easily taken by Ben Bears. Ben Bears, shot out to Anderson, is disrupted by Brady Terry, who was able to collect, but had a unorthodox hand pass that was ruled a throw by our officiator in Alan Morris. So it's going to be a free out for Blue. Ross Dunford, of course, will be taking this free, probably going for 1 point, and takes his 1 point easily from about the middle of the ground. Puck out red. Puck out red, coming in, looking for Anderson. Disrupt taken away by Brady Terry, but not cleanly. Brady Terry in the corner there has got to run through two opponents there. Hand pass over the top to Derry Master. Derry Master runs through one player, runs through another player, but loses the Slayer in the process. Matt Daly able to collect. Shot that goes wide from about the middle of the ground. It's going to be Blue to Russ Dunford. Russ Dunford takes some space, taken on by Kenny. Kenny's just a bump in the back, probably a professional foul by the goalie, Ben Bears, just to disrupt David Dodge. That was a certain goal because he had no defender, unfortunately. Ross Dunford with a free in, probably going to go for three here. Shot saved by Ben Bears, collected by David Dodge. David Dodge looking for space, hand pass. Shot goes wide. Goalie's down. The goalie was
Free
down.
Blue. Here,
That
hang on a second.
play. Shot
Time.
from Russ Dunford.
Here,
Actually,
Red, you want to call timeout?
off the goalie, Ben Bears.
You got to fucking play on then.
At the time. I'm not sure if they're going to count that goal.
Are you calling the timeout?
And it appears that they are.
I can stop it for an injury. Stop the
Ross
clock.
Dunford with
Are you okay?
goal.
Do you need a second? You sure?
Puck out.
All right, play on.
Puck out coming for Red. Great effort, Ben Bears there. Puck out goes into the opposite corner. Collected by Brady Terry. Brady Terry's got two players to run through. Does wise off non-preferred side. Shot from Ross Dunford.
All right, partner. We're going to head to the sideline with Liam Jones, who's going to interview our GM, Brian Murphy.
I'm here with Brian Murphy, the GM of the game. Brian, how does he think this game's going?
We got another competitive game. I think the Red got off to a bit of a slow start. Dodge is on fire, to be honest. I think he got 4 goals in the first 10 or 15 minutes. Red have started the second half strong. I think they've got 2 or 3 goals, so there's still a long way to go, but overall a very competitive game.
Think they're going to make a comeback?
Fingers crossed for the good of the league. If they come back, there'll be another championship game next week, so an extra game hurling for the guys. So we'll see what happens.
Back to you.
All right, those are words from Brian Murphy, our GM, who's had a hell of a year running a great indoor season. We thank him for his efforts. What did we miss? Why don't you bring us up on the action there, partner?
Believe it or not, there wasn't any scores during that time.
I
Just
can
kinda went
believe
back
it.
Back and forth. So
It's been one of those games that there's traditionally a lull right to start off the second half, and we're straight in it. But it's just the calm before the storm when guys start getting a little panicky. Oh, a great goal by Blue. No, I'm sorry. Was that by Jobo?
that might have been by Jobo.
Jobo with a goal.
We'll credit Jobo. I think there might have been a free actually in there.
Okay.
Looks like one player was held to the ground.
Those of you, I've heard that there's a cult following, and people are at home playing their drinking game. Every time Jobo scores, you take a drink. That's for those people. Enjoy your ice cold PBR. Who don't like to drink?
Can play that game.
That's right. You pick a player. Yeah, hey, that might be fun, right? To pick a name out of a hat, and if you get Ross Dunford, well, you're in trouble. If you got Jobo, you're
gonna
drinking your leisure. You're gonna be
driving home. You'll be driving home with no worries.
That's right. Every time one of those players scores, you take a drink. So here's a push in the back, but no call. It may have been just a simple fall. Look dodgy. Always being creative. Puts it between his legs. It trickles harmlessly over to Ben Bars. Calls for Daly after he hits it. Daly grabs it out of the air. Oh, an unfortunate pass right to Dairy Master. That ball is flicked out of the air into his hand by Ross. And boy, that's a bullet from half field for a goal.
Ross is completely unaccounted for in that passage of play there, and you're just asking for it from him at that stage.
All right, so we've got a flick by Brady, but it's a knockdown by Naprella. The ball is still controlled by Blue until it's not, and that's John Kenny, who scoops to his hand, drifts back to his own 13-meter line, finds Naprella, but it's not collected. Instead, we got 2 Blue players really getting after it, and now it's just Paul Kelly hand pass over to Cobb. Cobb with the weak side hit that goes right into the hands of John Kenny, who decides to take a point from deep.
John Kenny just taking a score there from about half back.
Ball flicked down the line. It heads over to David Dodge. Stutter steps, a great knockdown by Ben Bars, but that's the follow that we're always looking for. Ross Dunford way up in the front line now.
Dunford just
goals.
running through, completely unaccounted for. Again, you're asking for a major score in that situation.
There must be something about it, sitting back watching when my great team played. I said, why aren't we covering Ross Dunford? It must be because we've got skilled defenders who are just leaving him wide open game after game. Everybody knows he's there. He's just finding a way to get opening. A great defensive effort by Blue, but instead Naprala puts it in, and off the ground is Daly with a goal. That's Ross Dunford running up to collect the puck out. He grabs it. He hits the strip. That's a point.
That's a point. Doesn't need much room there. Well covered by John Kenny. Puck out goes right into the hands
Paul
of
Anderson.
Paul Anderson had it on the string. Wasn't able to convert it into a point.
Yep, that angle closes quickly when you're running down the sideline. That white line is basically, you better get rid of it or you're not going to have any angle at all. And Paul Kelly knows it. He steps right into the shot zone, puts it over the bar for a point.
Derry Master with plenty of space to run, ran all the way up till he felt comfortable to knock that or get a point out of it. Jay closing off that angle, forcing the shot, but not doing much defensively on it.
Yeah, the Kilkenny Cat, after putting that point over, takes a breather. Onto the field comes, I believe it's Logan. Here's Ross Dunford taking a free. Maybe someone else from Blue could take one for once. You think?
I know, it seems awfully greedy.
At least he's nice enough to take a point and not not send the cannon through the lines. That's another point by Ross Dunford. Hey, I can't blame him. He's the captain, and no lead is safe in indoor with 15 minutes to go. However, at 68-43, it could be a tough road for Blue for Red. Ooh,
has to be a foul there.
Yeah, you gotta like Dodge. Classic 1980s, 70s, 80s college basketball. Puts his hand up immediately. Yep, that was me with the foul.
I'm bad. Please don't hurt me.
Please
don't card me.
That always killed me.
Fuck it. Wide.
Wide ball, I think he said.
Wide.
Ball. No point. Wide ball.
There.
All right.
No point scored.
All right. So here comes Dodgy, who collects, but it bounces off the boards. Jake stands him up. He's done a great job of keeping the guys off the middle of the field. They've just been able to get shots off. Ross Dunford hits it off the boards. That rebound made it all the way back to the 13-meter line, where Marcus Kenny collects it, puts it over for a point.
Yeah, Marcus Kenny with a nice collection there. Able to get it to hand quickly, convert that to 1 point. Puck out goes right into the corner.
Boy, I tell you, no offense to Colm O'Reilly, who's a heck of a player, but Marcus Kennedy is doing a heck of a job as a substitute player. Really playing good defense and offense. That's Logan with a hand pass into a dangerous position. That's Cobb, who looks, turns, fires, and it's Dave Dodge who's chasing it down. A little big push in the back there. John Kenny unable to get it, though. The ball scoots into the danger zone for Red, and guess who's there? It's Ross Dunford. Big Ross Dunford. Strike, block, Red now. 4 Reds standing back there. There's only two others that could be on the field. So. And the Red have moved their way up to half field. There's essentially, of the 12 players on the field, 11 of them are standing on one half of the field, essentially. Allen calls steps, I believe.
I'm going to guess steps as well.
Yep. In comes Jobo Dilly.
Jobo,
crack open the PBRs.
Get your PBRs ready. Yep. Jobo, the X Factor is on the field. 3 in Red. Here it comes.
Looking good. Look, Jobo. I see him looking to find some opening. A ball ricochets off. Here we've got a chance for Red, but instead Logan with a great hands. Our breakout player of the year last year in outdoor sends it down to Ben Bars, who has plenty of time. Decides not to advance it, instead just pucks out from his back line. Saw something, he did. It was John Kenny. John Kenny collects, drifts back, and drops it with a beautiful shot into the back of the net.
Very nice score. Opposite corner, right at the feet of Dr. Cobb there. Does a tough one to stop. Puck out coming from Blue.
And Stephen Cobb with a nice puck out, but no chase by Blue. Instead, they got caught in their change of lines. Marcus Kennedy coming off, Max Jackal coming on. That's Ross Dunford. He's got it. He sees an opening and takes it. He's got a point.
Yeah, Dunford cutting off that puck out, easily converting that to a point.
Dunford continues his march to greatness here, having never played indoor before, is absolutely ruling the field here.
He's taken to the game quite well, Ross Dunford.
Yeah, I'd say. I would also say that despite the score disparity, I just think I feel like Red is playing some decent defense. It's just long distance shots that are dropping in that you can't do much about. A hard swing actually knocks the hurl out of Johnny Kenny's hand, and it drifts 5 meters back to the center of the field. Johnny just kind of looking to stand him up, doesn't go back and get a stick. Yeah, Russ Dunford shows how to do a Johnny pass over.
Nice save, Ben Bears.
Dodge Ben Bars right into the knees. He knocks it down. Boy, he's going to have some black and blue. He looks down, hands on his knees. He's hurt down there. He's
get that band an ice pack and some ibuprofen.
That's right. I tell you, Heath, we had a lot of fun, but I'm very comfortable sitting where I'm sitting right now instead of taking those shots. Just glad to make it with everything working at the end of the year. So we got what looked like maybe a push in the back, a free in given to Red.
Looks like a free in. Blue pleading their case there, but Alan Moore's having none of it.
Well, the only one I saw go to the ground was actually a blue player, so I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he touched it on the ground, but Matt Daly strikes, saves by Dunford, followed by Paul Anderson with a great shot. That's good awareness.
Mr. Anderson was there to put the ball right in the matrix.
Well, I tell you, it is not insurmountable. A 21-point lead with 10.5 minutes to go. Red getting a bit of a groove here. I'm sure in the last 5 minutes they've stayed tight and maybe outscored Blue, and a ball is sent down the sideline to Paul Anderson, who's covered by Brady Terry. Paul he's a lefty, so he likes headed off to his left side, flicks it down to Daly, who can hit it from either side. Great draw, pulls away the blue, finishes Paul Anderson. What a play! What a show of sports teamwork.
Yeah, a lot of patience as well. They know they need major scores. They're not going to try to just strike it out of desperation.
Ben Bars comes out. Nobody falls back to cover, and Max Jackal with the return goal.
Got bitten by the Jackal. What happened there? The goalie's got to come out in that situation. It's a really lonely feeling when you've got to come out to cover that player. And if you make it, you look like a superstar. If you miss it,
you've got to have teammates who rush back to cover for you. It just didn't happen that time, and they got burned. Dunford out there.
Yeah,
another point.
Just doing a little more damage, a little more salt in the wound there with a minor score.
Boy, I tell you, I'm learning a lot watching this Ross Dunford guy. I'm not sure where he came from, but what a teacher. What a teacher. Just play like Ross. Ross the boss.
Like Ross. I'm a student of the game, and he's the teacher.
That's it.
He's the new Brian Murphy in
my
eyes.
Ross the sensei. Dunford is in the building.
I'm so in love.
Okay, look at this. The scrum. Guys getting tired, legs getting noodly. Up against the boards, a whistle by Alan Morris stops play, and this is John Kenny who's going to collect and look to take the free. You got to think he's got to either put it off the boards and hope someone can get a ricochet, but just taking a point would probably be, he had to go for goal there. It's knocked out, tough shot, but that's what you got to do. And then Dunford turns, and it is a
no goal.
No goal,
point.
Raptor.
I believe it hit the rafters there right before it went over. So no points. We're gonna have a free in for Blue.
Looks like Ben Bars will take it. He's got Derek wide open. Instead, he decides to send it in. It's knocked down by the Jackal. Ball trickles over to Derek. I note that the captain, Ross Dunford's taking a breather, letting his team, who maybe have sat a little bit throughout the season, get some play into this exciting playoff atmosphere. It's good to see the captain getting his players some time. Oh no, I'm sorry, Ross is out there. But perhaps maybe he might be thinking.
How could you not see Ross out there? How could you miss him?
I don't know. He looks just like Derry and Jackal and everybody else.
Look for the light.
Oh, the halo, the beam of light that follows.
He's angelic.
Right. Well, I tell you, he might want to think about getting the likes of Jobo and Gareth out there to play a little. The ball is ricocheted off. We're going to have a 65. That was a great shot by
that's going to be a 65.
Yeah, maybe a sideline cut. Red not in a hurry to get the things going, which is odd.
Blue saying it ricocheted off the
crossbar. Look at this. He's going to just go ahead and take a free despite it being a 65. Okay, he's going to say a sideline cut. It went over the sideline, not the end.
So why? No, I guess it went off. Okay, all right. Hey, whatever.
74-52.
We're only observers of the game.
I'd say
Feder
Blue
access
is
to
knocking on the door of breaking the scoreboard and hitting 100. We'll see now. Red, I think, they're just in no hurry. I don't understand it. And a sideline cut into the back of the net, so it's now puck out. Ball over to Dodge, who's covered by John Kenny. John Kenny giving him plenty of space. This is Dodge, who's just going to take his point. No, he's going to hit it off the board. So Jackal can follow it. Jackal with another goal.
Jackal, unaccounted for, unmarked, easily able to take the crumbs off of Ben Bears. That was no fault of Ben. His job is to stop the ball from going in the goal. Someone else was supposed to account for that offending player and didn't.
I tell you, the cackling hyena is really showing off his skills this game. And now Ross Dunford steps left, steps right. He's displaced by John Kenny, who falls to the ground. Tired legs are starting to really show themselves. A great pass across the board. Dave Dodge shows his creativity, drops it right off the ground and into the goal.
And again, the same story. That shot would not have been easy had he been marked, and he was completely unmarked in that stage.
Right. Oh, look at Dairymaster chasing down the shot, but it's put into the back of the net by Matt Daly.
Yeah,
Proud captain, still fighting. He wants us to put his team in. Maybe everybody on my shoulders. Let's just get going. Instead, it's knocked
goal in that stage.
Knocked down by John Kenny, picked up by Matt Daly, followed by Jake Martell. Drury on the ball, stops him. Hand pass. Pick up by Dairymaster. Solo, hand pass, Dodge, picks, grabs, shoots into the back of the net. That's Blue pulling away significantly now.
Yeah, Jake's hand pass into the goal mouth to no one in particular. Easily cut off by Blue. Blue able to hand pass where a bit more.
What a save by Cobb, followed by
save.
Jake Martell, put into the back of the net. You got to get that. Got to watch for that secondary follow. Kind of a breakdown by Dodge. He was amazed, just like we were by by Drury. Amazed by the block down and didn't follow his man. Jake Martell with an easy
ball
garbage
watching
goal.
that situation, but you got to stay on your man. You got to wait for the whistle to get blown.
This is Garrett. Quick feet causes Derek to have no choice but to hand pass out to Daly. He smoothly sends it over, but another great save by Cobb. The ball collected by Naprella. Hand pass straight down the middle to Kenny, and he puts it into the back of the net.
Yeah, the tired legs on display here. Looks like defensemen are having trouble accounting for their players. A lot of players on both sides running free. It's a kind of a goal fest here. It's got to be almost a record high scoring
83, I'd say.
Situation.
I'd say, we got one thing it's good to see who hasn't shown his ugly head is Mr. Argy Bargy. Nothing.
No,
Argy.
not yet.
Oh, but do we have that now?
As soon as you said it.
This should be considered a serious infraction. You have to be safe by the boards. All the sorries in the world aren't going to put a guy's shoulder back in place. We gotta get control of it. Instead, it will just be a free. I guess we're going to rule it based upon intent instead of. Oh, great goal by Naprella from free. Red not giving up.
Quick puck out, Blue hits David Dodge. David Dodge not a whole lot of space.
Dodgy with a
by
knockdown. Johnny pass. Johnny pass to Daly. Nice passing on display by Red, but shut down at the end by Russ Dunford. That's a great run by. That's a bit of a hook, I'd say. Not the good kind. That's Cobb grabs it, heads off to his left side, hit over to Drury. Daly flick to the ball on the ground, hand pass to a wide open John Kenny. Like you say, tired legs on display, guys wide open all over the place. Another hit by Dunford sends it into the corner. Who is that? Naprella trying to come away with it, but instead Drury stands him up, pushes him up against the boards. There's nobody going anywhere. Someone falls to the ground. That looked like it was Nappy, but he's back on his feet. The ball's in the goal box. This is getting very dangerous for Blue, but Naprella finally gets it to his hand. He finds Daly with another no-look pass. Daly drops it inside the post.
Hard-fought goal there. I don't think it's going to be enough to close the gap, but Red not really wanting to give up here.
Look at that show of athleticism by Daly. A knockdown right into his hand. Paul Anderson, 12 weeks later, showing his skills that he's honed throughout the year with the ball in the back of the net.
Only 13 points in this with 3 minutes to go. It's a heavy lift by Red, but not out of the realm of possibility.
Absolutely not. You got to keep your eye on the scoreboard in this game. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. 13-point game. Red not giving up. A grab by Derek is called by Alan Morris, who's called a pretty good game today, I'd say.
And I would say he would.
Spot on.
Derek pretty much all over David Dodge.
Ross Dunford. saying, "Can I take it up even further?" And Morris saying, "Sure."
There were only 17
All right,
infractions
look
there.
out here, Derek. This ball's coming in hot. The ball goes over his head and into the net for a point for Blue.
Should be a quick puck out from Red right into the middle there to Matt Daly. Looks
2
like
minutes
he's
left to
in, or
go.
that was Matt Doyle,
14-point
actually.
game. Blue grabbing it. Here comes Dave Dodge. A hand pass to a streaking Ross Dunford. Red can't cover all the scoring threats, and they're in big trouble now.
Yep.
Dunford with another point. Ball over to Ben. He's trying to hurry his team. He calls for Johnny. A great indoor pass. Oof, big collision. We got Ross Dunford down. Ball is flicked in off the back wall. The ball is scrambled for, and Kennedy comes away with it. A nice flick across the board. Oh, Gareth can't quite get to it, and it's Derek Hayes who steps, pops, hand pass, bars, ball, nappy, corner with Logan. Plays it off his hurl, looks for another no-look pass, hand pass. This is Paul Anderson who can't quite get it to his hand. And Kennedy and Dodge wrap him up, and down goes Paul Anderson. Morris calls a foul. 85-90 with 1 minute to go. John Kenny, probably isn't as accurate as he wants. Puts it in for a point, though.
Yeah, I think he was going for the major score there, but I have to settle for 1 point.
We got time trickling down here. 42 seconds to go. Derek Hayes with his signature hopping on the hurl solo sends it over to the goal, but it's hit out by Cobb, who hand passes. Nice little hand pass over to Dodge, who's attacked by Ben Bars. Surprises Dodgy and is able to thwart the attack. There's 25 seconds left. That's Matt Daly with a weak side shot down the line to Paul Anderson. Paul Anderson trying to collect, trying to head towards the goal. He's the jersey pulled by Kennedy. He's not given advantage and therefore not given the goal.
Is he not given advantage on that? That was a travesty because that was a great effort by Mr. Anderson there. If I was out there, I would have played advantage.
4 seconds left. This is Kenny. Take the free anyway. It's a dead ball. And they will take it for statistics' take, but it looks like Blue is going to be crowned champion of the indoor league.
That is a shame.
Why don't you give a little breakdown? I'll be right back. At the end, why don't you give a little breakdown on what you thought? I'll be right back, partner.
Yeah, no worries. All right. So as the two teams shake hands, congratulate each other. Blue just a bit too accurate on the shots, just a bit too powerful there. Some weakness in the Red defense, not marking up too well against some known players that are known to score and have a lot of scoring opportunities. But all in all, great passages of play on both sides, great hand passes, great strategy, and you can see that the teams do respect each other the way they're shaking hands. Also, I'll say better than average officiating by Alan Morris, letting the boys play, not calling the little fouls that always happen in this game. But yeah, great clash between traditional rivals, and looks like the trophy is going to come out to be presented. The Moose Cup. Boys moderately interested in receiving the trophy, at least at this stage.
All right, so
yep.
Bit of a blowout, right? Blue is certainly demonstrating they are the undisputed indoor champs.
Yeah, again, there was some undisciplined player, in my opinion, by the Red squad there, not marking up as tight as they probably should have and probably could have.
Yeah.
Given like I mentioned while you were running around, the known scorers,
right?
The David Dodges, the Ross Dunfords, in that situation like that where that's going to be you're covering those players and accounting for the players is going to determine whether you win or lose. You tag those players.
Yeah.
And you set someone on him and say your job is to make sure he doesn't get a clean possession. Done. Right.
Yep.
But you got to hand it to Blue. They certainly were the better team today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Jobo, just leave those two up. Just leave them up. I'll get them. Thank you. All right. So a couple of things to discuss before we end the play here. We got to talk a little bit about a man of a match. Since it is our tradition not to repeat that award, obviously, if we were given a man of the match, Ross Dunford would probably be the man, but we've already handed that out. Close second would be Dave Dodge. We've already handed it out.
And Ben Bears has already had one as well. Did a
Yeah.
great job. I thought
Yeah.
Stephen Cobb was certainly
well.
a factor in goal as well.
Yep.
Um,
You know, my thought might be the Jackal. Three
uh,
goals off the bench. He's the only other scorer besides Dodge and Dunford to get a goal, and he got 3 of them.
yeah. I think you do want to give it to the clutch player. Who was the linchpin?
The linchpin who kept it together. You know, Paul Kelly had a decent game. I saw him really out there, causing some disruption without really, going on the score sheet.
Sure.
We'll have to talk to our ref, Alan Morris, and see what he thinks. But we got a lot of good opportunities here. And since it is the end of the season, I have a few statistics that maybe the viewers might be interested in. Our referees this season
I can't wait.
were Marcus Kennedy, Ross Dunford, David Lane, Chris Lane, Matt Daly, Derek Hayes, Brian Murphy, and Alan Morris.
A list of venerable.
Right. Our
venerable
true referee hero. I wanted to keep that camera out there. Our true referee hero goes to Ross Dunford. He reffed 3 games this season.
Really? Well, that is
solid.
really putting your reputation and friendships on the line.
Exactly.
For the sake of sport.
Our scoreboard operators this season were Wagner, Drury, Peterson, Nappy, Anderson, Jackson, Brady Terry, Jake Martell, and Connor Jones. And our scoreboard heroes, each scoreboarding 2 games, were Wagner, Peterson, and Terry. So
which I do not get.
Huge
they
for
got
them.
They got up early just to press buttons.
Yeah, and do it pretty well. We didn't have too many controversies with the scoreboard.
So what's wrong with those guys?
It went well. Our highest scorer by far was Ross Dunford. Coming into the game, he averaged 43.4 4 points, and he went 9-11. So that's another 38. So that average might go down a bit, but he was well over 40 points a game. Defensively, I think without question is the award is actually going to go to our team, Team Gray, with allowing only 15.3 goals per game. That I think that's basically you and me and whoever else came out to play defense with us.
I wasn't alone back there. I certainly wasn't alone. But you know that our speaking for Gray, which is
right.
by any estimation the best team.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. They just couldn't do it this season, but they'll be back.
Not on scoring, but on personality. But heavy with experience in the back line.
Broadcasters, I want to thank you, Heath, Mike Scholl, Alan, Connor Jones, Johnny Kenny, Matt Daly, Logan Spillner, David Dodge, Ben Bars, and Craig Wagner, who all took an opportunity to get behind the mic. Liam Jones, also our post-game interviewer, and I think he did an in-game interview this game. Our men of the matches: Brian Murphy, Derek Hayes, Phil Foyts, Chris Lane, Ross Dunford, Stephen Cobb, Dave Dodge, Paul Anderson, Matt Daly, Colm O'Reilly, Ben Bars, and today's man of the match. I'm not sure who it'll be, but we'll have to figure that out.
Could be anybody.
Our breakfast winner is the early bird with 6 votes. Crushed the Moose Balls, which doesn't even exist, but they took second. They got 3, and the Hangover Cure got 1 vote. Our captains this season were Ross, Chris, Phil, and Matt. We want to thank them. They did a fantastic job drafting and running their teams. And of course, always, this all wouldn't be possible without our commissioner, Brian Murphy, who did a great job running the league. So for the Hailstone Broadcast Network, I think we'll be signing off unless you have any parting thoughts.
Well, Bill, thank you for all your efforts in putting together this. This broadcast wouldn't exist without your extensive desire to do so.
It's my pleasure. We'll archive this forever, and we'll be pulling this out. I don't know, 2038, and we'll all have a laugh at how young everybody looks.
Yeah, and we'll probably say, we did that?
Yeah. Oh, this isn't dumb. This is crap.
Wow, that was dumb.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This will be the final broadcast of the 2018 season. This is the Hailstone Broadcast signing off. Again, our champions were Team Blue with a win of 85-71 over Red. Have a good morning, everybody.
I am here with the man of the match, Ross, and champion of the championship. Hey, how did the game go?
Good job. We started off very strongly and kept the lead there near to the end. They came back pretty strong. It was an unbelievable team performance today, so good game all around.
Gotcha. What are you having for breakfast?
The Moose Balls.
Gotcha.